I'm proud of us as well. We are starting on time.
Yes.
This is a not very often occasion.
What,
but
a Thursday stream?
No, the fact that we started online on time, all of that. Welcome in to Divine Disbelief, where depending on what state deranged cultists live in, we're either supposed to stop counting or continue counting. Honestly, at this point, it's just confusing. All I know is they know they've lost, and that works for me. They know they've lost. The president knows they've lost. Kellyanne Conway seems to think that they're losing and winning at the same time. And then the person who violated the Hatch Act and was helped into getting past that kind of, and also not violating the Hatch Act, but also kind of doing it anyways, hopefully she's going to go to jail, said you should continue counting in Arizona. But also, because we're in Georgia, man, fuck them votes. So it's been fun, but it could end tonight. I think there's a song in there somewhere.
I mean, probably.
Probably. And
I'm
I also
going to be sending out the link.
Very good. And I have apologies to make to certain people in certain states. But also I have tooting to do.
Horn tooting?
Also that. And like, seriously, I do. But also apologies that I will get to. In the meantime, and by the way, thank you. Welcome in Crazy Catnip. Also, we're streaming live on the Facebook, and we're on Twitch, and we're on YouTube.
So we're all over the place.
As we are.
Yeah.
Yes, and we are just so happy to be here.
I'm happy that it's almost over.
Yes, it is.
Question mark?
It is almost over and both beginning at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And we will get into that as well. For right now, we have sent out, we have spoken with some of the folks that were with us on the night of November 3rd, and then into November 4th, where we had a 26 hour stream. Honestly, I forget how long it was. And by the way, we, I believe, still have access to that, even though it's not on YouTube.
It should be on StreamYard,
there you
which
go.
I'm going to look at soon.
Yep, which we'll look at it. And if that's the case, we are going to be uploading it onto the YouTube in various segments, as well as some of the great clips from that night. So tonight we're going to be joined by a few different folks, especially those that we spoke with the other night. We have reached out to the uncles over at How to Heretic. I know if they're not asleep, or if they haven't, anxiety themselves into a coma, which
that might have happened.
Yeah, honestly. Or a stroke. What happens more when you have more anxiety? Comas or strokes? Wait, does a stroke put you in a coma too sometimes? There you go. A strokoma. A stroke. Stroma. That's a person who directed horror films.
Is it though?
Stroma, isn't it?
I don't know.
Trauma. They're trauma films.
Trauma, yeah.
So add an S to that, and now congratulations. And reached out to obviously Nick Suter, and to Objectively Dan, he was on the other night, and some other folks too. I don't know, I forgot.
Which it looks like I'm not paying attention, but I'm sending out links.
She's not paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
But right now we in the green room, which is what I'm calling that, but also in their rooms because we socially distance everything. We have our good buddy Irish Sweet, who is himself responsible for Nebraska's 2nd district.
him and him alone.
You can tell it's been a long day and a long night because Irish Sweet is wearing the same shirt he had on yesterday.
Yep.
I get that. I was wearing the same shirt for multiple streams. So I am there for that. And also, you had a good excuse. I mean, you got to, like alien popped out of your chest or whatever. So, but welcome in.
And I got the genetic answers today.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah. As long as my FBN1 gene doesn't, kill me, and I guess we're fine.
Well, here's the thing. Was it FBN1?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We know that Nebraska is never going to be number 1 in football again, so probably not. That works, folks. Figure it out. And of course, also Leakai, who was not on the other nights, but is up there in the great state of. They're the Apple State, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are the Apple State.
I only know that
because... Or if you ate an apple at some point today, it either came from my skate or Nathaniel's.
And Susan's too. I only know that, by the way, because I know that Washington and Washington State play in football every year, and they play the Apple Cup.
We actually also have, like, if you drive along the highways, we have, like, apple maggot quarantine zones that they randomly just have highway, like, signs for no reason that I fully understand.
So I'm guessing so that they don't, eat the rest of the trees. Also in Washington, they have Mount Adams.
Mount Adams?
The most hilarious thing about that is that there is Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens, and everybody fucking forgets about Adams, which makes just perfect sense because of what state they're in. But so when is the next time we're scheduled to get an update? There's a lot of questions in the chat. We love you guys so much. Thank you for asking questions. Really, seriously. I had people asking me questions while I was at work today, and I was like, look here, I'm at work, but also here's your answer.
I had fires to put out, so I couldn't do a whole lot today.
And not literal ones like we've had recently in Oregon.
No.
Thankfully, those are gone, contained. So. It's been raining. It started raining on Election Day.
And it's still raining.
Since then, I also got my wish. Because it's November 5th. And Donald Trump is going to remember the 5th of fucking November.
I like it. I like it a lot.
It's Guy Fawkes. For all of you that don't know. Thanks, Swede.
For the restoration of the Catholic monarchy.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. That's why we're doing this. It's for the movie.
I've seen the movie.
What's her name from the first Star Wars reboot? There it is in that film. And also somebody else.
Hugo Weaving plays
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, he plays me.
Now I'm even more interested in it. Anyways.
Have you not seen it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I watched like the beginning when he said it, and then I was like, cool, there's the clip. Bye. And I got to use my meme or my GIF, my GIFeme. You guys aren't like at all anxious, right?
No, not at all.
Swede, you anxious?
Yeah, a little bit.
As long as he took to answer that, I was wondering. Likai, how do you feel?
I've been, I'd be lying if I said I had any nails left. Like, literally bit one of them down to the actual, like, bleeding because anxiety. Especially with, like, the lawsuits and stuff and the fact that PA apparently said yes to Trump, unlike all of the other lawsuits it looks like that he filed, where they put a delay on the counting. Like, that was not exciting to hear.
Well, they put one on, not on the counting, but rather... they do have to wait for one thing until tomorrow, but I'm not upset about that. Just that they had to like let people closer or something. Like, congratulations. You get to look over the person that's a Republican that's counting these ballots and tell them that they're a filthy fucking communist socialist. Congratulations, cultists. You get to do that.
Right. I mean, I was really proud of both Ohio and Michigan for giving Trump the middle finger around the lawsuit stuff. Like, Michigan was just like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, Michigan
wasn't the Michigan judge the one that said that, like, this particular lawsuit was the, like, legal equivalent of a tweet with a filing fee?
I would not be surprised, but if that's the case...
That's amazing.
One of the judges said that. I don't remember which one it was, but one of the two that basically gave Trump the middle finger said that their lawsuit was so devoid of evidence that it was the legal equivalent of a tweet with a filing fee.
That's amazing.
Sounds about right.
Some of the wittiest comebacks in the world. Go look up stuff that was just outright dismissed with prejudice. And the judges are just brutal towards people that file frivolous bullshit.
They are, which is going to be hilarious when they try to dispute any more of this stuff. But there is anxiety that I have as well, but it has nothing to do with the election, because if you were here the other night and remember the 3rd of November, I called everything that's happening right now. And I have video evidence.
On StreamYard.
Hopefully.
On StreamYard.
Anyway, Frustrated Atheist is in there as well. But in the green room bringing forward now is somebody who has actually never been on this channel before.
And I'm very excited.
Jenny Morgan.
Hi, Jenny.
Welcome in. If your audio works. If not, just
You're
wave.
Muted.
I suppose I'll turn on my mic and that'll work better. Hello,
There we
everyone.
go. Hi, how are you?
Fine. How was everyone tonight?
Hey, it's my Zipper Club friend.
That's right. That's right. I've been
so
on. I've been
excited.
on. Was that Neil's show?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds
They
about right.
finally found out what's wrong with me. I have Marfan syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Let's see.
Wow, that's rare.
Let me, and I want to let all of you have an opportunity to talk, especially to one another, and all this. But there are also already some questions in the chat, and one of them, for whatever reason, is directed at me instead of Swede. He probably knows more than I do. And it's from Crazy Catnip, who apparently has a kiddo to take care of, and that's why they're not drinking right now. Look, if you can't drink right now, when are you going to? Besides the past 4 years, quite
true.
obviously. Oh, but again, disclaimer of the channel being partisan.
Yeah, we're not nonpartisan. Not at all.
My shirt, you know.
I mean, I'm a literal communist, so having me on here has got to count for something.
Shirt doesn't give it away. And
I'm
anyway,
so I'll stand right by you as long as we strike all together.
yep.
Woo!
So, Crazy Catnip asks Nathaniel or anybody else, I've had a question for you for like 3 hours. Thank you so much for waiting, because the other night nobody else did. Most sources are calling Arizona for Biden, but CNN hasn't. Neither has. There's somebody else that hasn't either. So if he flips, think you mean Georgia, does he win? That's a good
Georgia
question.
and everybody else going to Trump is the only way this ends in a tie.
Yeah.
Nevada,
Wasn't
Arizona.
Biden closing that gap in Georgia really rapidly, though? Like, last I'd seen, it was down to like 10,000 votes.
Oh, we're going to get into that because you are...
that gap is like 1,500, 1,700 votes now.
We're going to get into that and what that means and what that will mean. And the reason for Arizona, and the first ones to call that were NPR and apparently fake news Fox News, because
I thought it was Associated Press that called it with Fox News first.
No, it was the NPR. The Associated Press called it either late last night or earlier today. And which is hilarious, because the cultists think that Fox News is now fake news, which means they're going to go over to OAN or some, I don't know, whatever QAnon likes more. By the way, 1% or less. We'll get to the margin in a second, because it's pretty.
It's pretty.
The reason for that is because whenever they called it, the NPR and Fox News called that, there were over 400,000 ballots yet to be counted. Now, many of those, of course, were absentee. There were very few left, especially in Maricopa County, which is Phoenix, and apparently Tucson.
I don't think that's how you say that.
Ask Amanda; she used to live there. And
it's Tucson.
Tucson, there it is. And so the thought process there was that if those are all mail-in ballots, then we're going to see, and if we see it like we have everywhere else, then it's going to be Joe Biden, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, which we've seen as well.
What they didn't count on was that Arizona is a lot of snowbirds, and if they wanted to vote down there, that's a lot of Republican mail-ins.
Yep, and as well as you have folks that live, kind of like Texas in the middle of the desert without like Texas. And so you have a lot of folks over there that are also Latino, and they mail their ballots in as well. And as we found out, because Democrats don't give two shits about Latino voters in southern Florida, nor do they in Arizona. So maybe something to work on. Who knows? And that's why. So right now, Biden still has a substantial lead. That doesn't appear as though it's going to be that Trump's going to catch him, but we also don't know yet. I think it's a good call.
It's still within the realm of possibility he could.
Yeah, it's. I still think it's a good call. I think that it's going to stay, but I mean, I'm not CNN.
Although the last lump of fresh votes that I saw come in from Maricopa County, it actually favored Trump.
Yep, a lot of them that we've seen, and that's actually what you're looking like a 60-40 split. Trump, which is perfectly fine. And what we are looking at there is that there's such a large lead for Biden, that they were thinking that even if you get that 60-40 every time, he's never gonna catch him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty well played out. It's still outside of, I think it's almost 2 points. So we'll see.
1.6 points.
Yeah. So
looks like he's leaving him in the dust, though, in Nevada.
Yep.
Woo!
Nevada. So let me get into Nevada real quick. They said that Nevada may not call till tomorrow, but tomorrow means tomorrow Eastern time, which means that it's like 9 o'clock over here.
Which is 8 minutes here.
And for me, everybody's looking at Pennsylvania. I get that. It's a wonderful state and everything. I'm over here like, give me Georgia. For many fucking reasons.
I would so love to see Georgia go blue. I mean, Stacey Abrams has worked so hard for so many years to flip that state blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This would be a perfect time to do it.
Oh,
It almost feels like it would be as big of a statement as Texas would be, because Georgia is like a major Republican stronghold.
Ooh, we're gonna get into Texas a little bit, but also there's a lot to do with that. Like I said, some people I need to apologize to, but also still Texas.
Nathaniel, aren't you originally from Texas?
No, she is.
Oh,
He's from Nebraska.
I'm not from Texas.
We lived in Texas before that.
You don't remember me, but I used to follow you when you started out on Periscope.
Boy, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4.5 years ago now. I'm still on there, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We go on there every once in a while.
Yeah. I'm up there. It's a good time. Still the exact same people. It's crazy.
Susan, that's why I ask you which Nathan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was him.
Well, cool. Good to run into you again.
Yeah, you too. Which Nathan?
She was like, wait, who's Nathaniel? Because I said, we're waiting for Nathaniel to get home. And she was all like, wait, who's Nathaniel?
Things are going to get very confusing if my boarder walks in here while we're streaming, because Nate.
Yeah.
And so, Kat, I hope that answers your question. I imagine when it gets closer to or flips Arizona, does he win? No, he's still, even if Arizona's 11 do go, he's still looking at 264. At that point, all he would need would be Nevada, which is kind of like what we're counting on anyways. I figured out what the AL meant. Sorry. So there's he doesn't have to flip Arizona to win.
Can anyone tell me what's been going on in Kansas? I know it's not one of the hot states right now, but it's been called for Trump. But there's supposedly some incident or something that needs to be looked at or investigated, or some crap happened there today.
Anybody else? I haven't heard, and that's let's put that one up here, and somebody remind me, because I'll forget that even exists. Or we'll check the comments and see. So somebody link and I'll join. Absolutely. Just give us a little bit. Let's see here. So we will, Jam, we'll look at that and see. So,
I'd like to share with you the picture of mental illness.
Oh, Trump?
Oh, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell are we watching exactly?
That is Clark County, Nevada.
Yeah.
So
they're praying the ballots away.
I don't know. I obviously don't consider religion a mental illness.
Praying
but this is a fucking cult, man.
Yeah.
And there are issues there. So I don't know. That's nonsense.
My gosh.
Law and order and all that, right?
Well, I really love this whole protesting, these QAnon idiots that follow Trump. In Arizona, they're screaming and yelling, count all the votes, count all the votes. And in Michigan, they're yelling, stop the count.
Stop the vote.
Count.
Yeah, stop the count.
I don't like.
I get it. That's what a cult can do to you, right? Yeah, it's like at the same time, Kellyanne Conway and Sarah, as Stephen Colbert would say, Sarah Huckabee, are saying exactly the opposite thing within just a minute of one another, and then the person who, first off, is somehow president, and then secondly, still president. Anyways, tweeted out and he said, "No, stop voting everywhere, or stop. Okay, sure, we're done with that, but stop counting everywhere." And to which we said, to all the kids in math class, said, "Yes, let's do that." So I'm gonna vote for this guy. Let's see, which he would say, if you're in Arizona, make sure, yes, people under 18, go do that, and then also go inside and make sure that it counts and vote again.
Oh yeah,
he said that.
he did.
So, Native Atheist says, I think Biden has to take Pennsylvania. The answer to that is he's gonna, but also he does not have to. He just has to take like one more, basically.
It's Arizona and Nevada, and it's over.
Yep. If he gets, if he gets Pennsylvania, that's gonna. I just really. He's gonna get Pennsylvania, which is gonna be great. I've wanted him to, regardless. Anything on top of that, just like a little more kicks.
Yeah.
He'll still need one more electoral vote if he takes Pennsylvania. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. Because right now he's sitting at the 2.
No, he needs one more if he takes Georgia.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With Pennsylvania, he's good.
Concerned about faithless electors.
No, not on the Democratic side. I wouldn't be. Democratic side is no. They're going to be like, yo, yeah, that's fine. We good. Now, be concerned on the Republican side, maybe.
Yeah.
That might be okay. But then many states, because of what happened, I think in Washington, actually, or in Michigan or something. I think Michigan, maybe 2 of them. It's the reason he has 304 electoral votes 4 years ago instead of 306. Said, we're going to give these to John Kasich and hope everybody else does that because Donald Trump is not a good person. And then everybody else said no. And then they passed like laws in their state saying if you do that, there's no because there can't be a civil penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But they said your vote is like nullified and we'll pick somebody else.
Huh.
Yeah, congratulations, Republican states. Faithless electors, man.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have to take.
Paul got a vote. Ron Paul got a vote. There were like 8 people that got votes for the Republican side.
Yeah, it's hilarious actually. So he doesn't have to take Pennsylvania. He is going to. Doesn't have to. If he doesn't, it makes it a little bit of an odd path to get there. But he's also so close in Georgia, and Georgia. I think we look at this and we're like Georgia and Georgia and Arizona are likely. This is what we thought earlier. Likely looking to Pennsylvania and waiting for Pennsylvania to flip it so that they can do it then too. That's been a thought across the.
Well, he only needs Arizona and Nevada to win.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, correct.
See, I see Pennsylvania and Georgia as trophy states.
Exactly.
You know, it's like stick it in your face, GOP. Here, look what we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that the Democrats do probably need to take this election though as a lesson, and that is that if Biden wins, let's face it, he's winning on hate. There are significantly less people voting for Biden than there are people voting against Trump, and if they get a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed new fascist over on the Republican side, we're probably going to get a repeat of the last election. It shows that these ideas are not anathema to American culture. And if anything, it shows how far partisanship has kind of taken the right. It shows that Democrats need to kind of focus on actually building a loyal coalition the way that the Republicans have, where they've got lever pullers who will vote for anybody they put up. Literally any fucking buddy. Don't kill the babies. I will vote for whoever is red. Whereas the Dems, we want to actually like our candidates, and that's a thing that we're going to have to learn the hard way, because I don't really consider myself a Democrat. I'm an independent who aligns with the Democrats 90% of the time. But I'm a commie. That's if, at any point, somebody that's more Dem socialist, actual socialist, gets into any sort of position of power, that's where I'm at. And I think that the left has gotten divided to the point where there's a lot of people who feel similarly.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. I know that I put out a small list today of Democrats that should be primaried.
Yeah.
Because Kirsten Sinema, ma'am, what you doing, girl? hopefully getting primaried. For real. Just fucking for real. These people are they don't care. And I say it about Kirsten Cinema, who like over time, Susan and I have been over time fans of.
Yeah.
Right. So
I don't know a lot about what she's actually been doing, so I cannot speak to that.
There's another question. I forgot what it was. I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Oh, when is another time that we get updates? Well, we'll get incremental ones. I doubt that we're outside of a state going and flipping to the blue, or if you are Arizona, to the red, which is certainly far less likely than Arizona or than Pennsylvania and Georgia. I don't think we'll get anything. And to speak of Georgia for a moment, Georgia is like they are trending. I would certainly even more quickly than Pennsylvania.
The amount of money that is going to flow into that state for those two runoffs.
I know, because that is control of the Senate right fucking there.
Under 75 million.
Oh, over. Come on, that's Jamie Harrison got 75 million in 1 quarter. Come on.
But we only got a month and a half or whatever, isn't it?
He got that in a quarter, and he was one senator of 26. And then, they didn't give any fucking money to whatever his name was. Don't even know him in Nebraska, right? Because they knew that
because he's a sexual harasser.
Oh, that's true. But also that Ben never Trump, but sometimes Trump, and also kind of. And who knows? I'm going to sit at the edge of the Platte River and write a fucking sonnet. Sass. Won by that. All that's true, by the way. The reason he's laughing is because everything that I just said is true. He literally did that. It wasn't a sonnet, but yeah. He was like, I'm sitting on the edge of the Platte River. It's back in 2017, 2018. And he's like, I'm just thinking about how America is so divided. Not like I'm not going to vote, like I'm going to vote to, to make the guy innocent for an impeachment trial fairly soon. I promise I'm a never Trumper. Fuck you, Ben Sass.
And then Janicek doesn't get out of the race like he should have because he's a sexual harassing creep.
Yep.
So we have a Democrat against him in probably a period that any other period, would never have been as good as this one with the turnout in Omaha. But no, everybody was like, I voted straight ticket, except for I voted for Sass because I'm not going to vote for Janicek. That's just Sass. Maybe
don't vote,
but he's not a creep.
Yeah, that's true. He's also but the reason that Georgia, they're not going to call Georgia. They have until the 10th or something. Is because even though and not pending a recount as well, you're within 0.04 and likely going to go the other direction. They have a not a large amount, but they have an amount of overseas and military ballots that are going to come in. So they got to count those as well. So stop the count or whatever. I don't know. Whichever one is good for Trump, I guess. I don't really know how cultists do it. I'm not in one. And so I'm just I'm trying to get the lingo and the way of the wave down.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, the only chant that I've consistently heard from Trump, forever Trumpers, is lock her up. So apart from that, I don't really know that much as far as their shit goes.
Wait, Clinton or Gretchen Whitmore?
I'm not actually sure. Mostly Clinton, I think.
Yeah.
¿Por qué no las
dos? Pennsylvania. We have so much to get through tonight, but we had to show this. Thanks, Titan, for this.
Yeah.
Also, I think Russ sent a message or something.
Oh.
Will you send him?
I didn't see anything.
Will you see if you can send him a link?
Yeah.
And let me see. Maya, I'll answer your question there in a second there, Maya. But we'll show this because this is what we talked about right here. This is what we did not want to happen, but this is what we talked about. So here you go.
Copy.
Quick draw. You pick up to 10 numbers. The more you match, the more
Yay! We get an ad from who knows?
The lottery.
I won!
In Jersey, there's
I
nothing
won.
like football. A $1 bet could win up to $100,000.
Just so you know.
Well, Jim, things just got very interesting here and alarming, actually, here at the convention center. You see this huge police presence that just arrived. Stay with me here, Jim. I want to bring up some video from Chopper 6 here. According to police at the scene, they tell us they got a tip about a Hummer with people driving up from Virginia armed. Their plan was to attack the convention center while they continue to count the votes. Now, we have some video from the ground I want to bring up right now. They took into custody a man. You see him dressed in that tan outfit. At the scene here, they put a gun in a bag. They say he or another man that he was with was armed, and they took him away in a car. They believe they have found that Hummer and found the people that they got this tip about that, again, were driving up from Virginia to potentially attack the convention center while they count these votes. Now, it's been a busy day here, protests throughout the day as well. Let's take a listen. It was an interesting dynamic outside of the convention center, to say the least. Both the Biden and Trump sides protested for transparency of the votes being tallied, but also claim their counterparts are preventing that from happening.
Donald Trump declared victory last night, or a couple nights ago, before the votes had been counted, and said that he wants to stop the vote. That is stealing the election.
I want the Republicans and the Democrats to come together inside and count these votes correctly.
At sunset, the Trump...
Okay. All right.
But they are.
Yeah, that's the thing. These are nonpartisan. They're Republicans and Democrats.
Like,
are...
if there's a ballot where they're going to argue over it, a Republican and a Democrat have to walk up and go, yeah, that mark is right there. I think we can both agree the intention of the voter was this.
Let's get one thing fucking straight. These are not Biden supporters and Trump supporters. These are supporters of the fucking Constitution and those that are not. These two are not equal. They're not on equal playing fields. They're not on equal fucking anything. These are people who are intent on destroying this country. And I'm not saying that because, like, again, this sounds like I did a couple of months ago. We were talking about this like a fucking conspiracy theory. But, hi there, video. 2 nights after Election Day.
It's not as though the freaking Proud Boys and all of them haven't been threatening to do this shit this entire time, and it's not like Trump didn't tell them to stand by and
stand down and stand by.
Yeah.
Yep. So, like, it's not as though this has not been actively encouraged irresponsibly by this administration. Like, nobody should be surprised that this happened.
Yeah.
Jenny, what do you think?
I completely agree. These people are very ill-tempered idiots. These are people who, in my estimation, scream for rights, but don't at the same time understand with that goes responsibility. Mm-hmm. And in their particular case, maturity. They don't have any maturity of thought. They can't process. They can only act out of impulsive jolts that they get in their semi-brains. And I think they're the most dangerous thing that the country has is these independent militias and small pockets of lunatics, because these are the kind of people that can start a war.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet Kate Brown called out the National Guard yesterday, actually. So last night they were
I thought she'd called him out on Election Day.
They actually might have, but they were in downtown Portland.
God damn.
And that's
this image is for you, Nathaniel, and for Russ.
Douglas Sarpy, I'm going to decide the whole election. I don't even know who you are. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I love it.
By the way, I heard a report that munitions sales were up like 30-40% last week.
Jesus.
That is and we had a
308 ammo, but that was just because I'm going to go shooting here pretty soon.
Also because he's in, just go north a little bit and you're in the 308.
You got 100 rounds of 45. And some shotgun shells.
Only takes one.
556 is the monetary I'm losing words. I'm too old for this.
It's the NATO round.
Yeah, it's the NATO round for
762. Sure, that'll do.
The in even more terrifying news, in Alabama, a police officer put on his Facebook page that Biden supporters and voters should be lined up and shot in the head.
Oh, really?
Steve Bannon
or Fauci and somebody's head should be.
Steve Bannon has been removed from all social media tonight. Facebook, Twitter, everything because of his behavior today.
Nathaniel, I'm just going to say that while that is terrifying, coming out of Alabama, that's not surprising either.
It was, and then the police chief then said they are investigating it,
of course,
and did not, at least as of whenever we posted this on Twitter, suspend the officer.
Of course not.
Because this is another example. All cops are bad.
No, Nathaniel. There's really fine people on both sides.
Yep. This is a both side situation, by the way. There are two sides here. There are.
The right side and the wrong side?
The side that wants literally like we did 4 years ago. We woke up. I went to sleep. Hope to God it was a fucking nightmare. Woke up the next day. Realized it was probably still a nightmare for 4 years. And was really sad and disappointed in our country. And then determined that, much like many of you, that we're going to do everything we could to survive and help others survive the next 4 years.
Yep.
What they are doing is, I don't know. It's fucking, you talk about the things we have principles in America. Let's be honest. We're not super good at them.
No.
But this is antithetical to everything that we actually claim to stand for. This tears apart the very foundation of the Constitution. Which parts of it? Sure, thanks so much. You just want to tear it apart, just take out the little 3/5 part. That'd be great. But it completely it shows the rest of the world yet again who we are.
Yeah.
As a country. Because this is not a small portion of the population. This is nearly 70 million people.
Yeah. And that's so, I mean, it's not surprising, but it is disappointing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like any of us are really shocked by this anymore. I think we've been so desensitized to shit like what, yeah, exactly. Like all of that shit. And Titan mentioned Alex Jones earlier. It was Alex Jones mentioned.
Yep, Alex Jones.
We're not, I mean, we can still be disappointed.
Yeah, I am. I'm disappointed in our country.
But we're not, I think surprise is a little naive at this point.
Can I ask Titan Uranus a question? What the hell is a fascist communist? Isn't that a little
right?
It is. They're on different sides.
Yeah, they kind of don't.
No,
fit.
guys, look, I just want y'all to know that I want a dictatorship, but I hate the government at the same time.
I mean, of course.
It makes total and logical sense.
And this right here from Maya makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But let's talk about where we are. The fact that is probably the best thing that anybody can say right now. But that's where we are. This is what it's been like 2 months since we recorded that video talking about this right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
and begging America to win Florida, because that'd be it.
And to be better than this.
But yeah, now that we're here, be better than this, or be best, if you will.
and while it's on my mind, I just want to say hi, everybody. Hi, Allie. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Swede.
Hi.
You know, I've been here now for like a whole couple of minutes, and it slipped my mind to say hi to everybody. So hi, everyone.
Hi, honey, sweetie.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, you know, just waiting for DoorDash to bring me shit from Walgreens.
You want to go out? You want to go out? Have a drink? Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's do that. That
Cool.
sounds like a perfect idea.
You guys live near one another?
Connections here. I like it.
Maybe.
Yeah, how you doing that?
I don't know. Do you live in Texas, Jenny?
No, I'm in Minnesota.
Oh, well, look, I mean, we can just meet halfway. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Ooh, that makes Nebraska or Kansas yucky.
Oh. If we go to Nebraska, we can go see.
I mean, you know, that's fair. I'll be honest with you. That's a fair point. You go to, like, I don't know, Sioux City or something. I go to Iowa. Nobody likes them.
Yeah, nobody knows where Iowa is.
Iowa's a red place, but the people there tend to be so quiet that it's pretty safe.
Even people in Iowa don't know where Iowa is.
Yeah.
He's not wandering around.
Joni Ernst certainly
it's actually
does not.
And they
20
employ
miles
an
to
entirely
myself.
racist coaching staff there.
Is he racist? I didn't know if he was.
Ferentz?
Yeah, I know that there was a big hubbub there, but I didn't know. I didn't know if it was fair.
I'm actually very proud of Iowa. They made a cultural step forward this political year. They got rid of Stephen King, who was a senator and currently was a congressman, and just a horrible Nazi racist son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
And they finally got rid of him this year.
Yeah, they did.
Like
He got
someone else.
primaried.
Look, he doesn't hate these people. He just wish they didn't exist.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
was in a state. I like that.
Yeah. When somebody from the UK gets it, okay.
He lives in
Someone gets
Sweden.
diagnosed with
And he's
with-
Norwegian.
Oh, I thought he lived in the UK. I'm sorry.
Sharton? Yeah, no, Sharton. He lives in Sweden right now.
I
He's from
appreciate
Norway, lives in Sweden.
Oh man, which one's better? Because honestly, at this point, I'll go there. One of the places we were considering moving was Finland, anyways.
It's true.
All I know is that Sharton has become my new best friend.
Nice. By the way, Georgia does not have an update.
Get your shit together, Georgia. Hurry up.
Pennsylvania looks. 2 counties have finished voting. Have counting. Yeah. Sullivan County went. Their massive amount of votes went 73-25 to Trump. Population 6,000. So I don't know. And as did. Yeah, go ahead. Pronounce that one.
Juniata.
Yep, Juniata. There's a lot, way too many vowels in there. 80-19. Their county has 24,000 people, 24.5. So we're still looking at just over 87% out of Philadelphia, which is 81-19 Joe Biden, and then 90% over in Allegheny, which is Pittsburgh, and that one is 90% in. He's up by 19. Has been steadily expanding that lead he had early on up to 19 points now. I don't know. Somehow Erie County, with 275,972 residents, is 1 point for Joe Biden. That's in Northwest Pennsylvania. So if anybody knows anything about Pennsylvania, please.
That's the upper northwest corner, right on Lake Erie.
Yeah. So why
That makes sense.
is that one? It does make sense. Why is that one more? Does anybody know why that one's more blue?
I guess because it's
that would be
urban
manufactured.
Because it's near body of water, because bodies of water are blue.
The urban influence of the city spreads out to a fair chunk of the county, is what I would guess.
Yeah, the Erie, Pennsylvania is pretty dense, and so you get the demarcation line there.
Appreciate that. I know that Cincinnati, where IQ lives,
Churchville.
Yep, they went nice and blue, and then you can see like where Columbus is and stuff like that in Ohio. Ohio has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 blue counties, and they still had 45% of the vote. So,
wow,
that's the population centers, man. That's why you look at things like this, and what you see is a lot of those places with super red counties and stuff simply cows and cornfields.
Sounds about right.
So yeah.
There was this really good map that I retweeted on Twitter that kind of showed, it says land doesn't vote, people do, and it kind of expands out, like it basically sweeps across the map with all the filled in kind of red and blue areas, and then expands them out into population dots, and you can so clearly see why it can look like vast swaths of the country are red, when in reality, like if you actually zoom in on the population centers, there's a reason why certain states go blue.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at that retweet that you did. That looks pretty awesome. However, if you go to Jersey, there's one little area that is when they mapped out the whole entire districts and whatnot of what was supposed to be red or blue district. There's one stretch of median that's blue because, people living in the medium of a highway.
Of course.
Yeah. They do that in Texas as well, across one part of the street. And we saw this in Tarrant County.
Oh, a bunch in Tarrant
Where
County.
if you go down, what is that?
820.
No, go over like by our house. What was the highway by our house?
360.
If you go down 360, just on the other side of 360 between Tarrant County and Dallas County, there is not an apartment complex, but like a nice little subdivision. And one goes, shit you not, through somebody's backyard.
There's Are you from Tarrant County? I didn't know you were from Tarrant County X. Oh yeah, you're from Texas. I forgot you were from Texas.
We gonna get into Tarrant County later.
Yeah, we are.
Just saying. Sorry, go ahead.
But
on the subject of Ohio, though, don't they have kind of draconian restrictions around like their absentee ballots and stuff? Like, don't you think that could potentially have an impact on this?
That I don't know.
Of Ohio?
Alex Jones has arrived at Maricopa County.
I don't know that it could impact the vote in Ohio. Ohio is 8 points for Trump. I don't know that it could impact that vote.
Well, if there's enough, like, I know that in some states, some Democrats, for example, didn't get their ballots until later because the interference with the like postal service and stuff. If they're one of those, the ballot had to get there by election day, or it doesn't count type states, then that could definitively swing the election, especially with the trouble that a lot of people had with getting absentee ballots.
I don't. Depending on the number and location, this is something else that's important here, of those voters, that may be something, but most of these states, even if they're within like a point or two, are still so far out of 1 or 2 or 537, which I swear to God, Georgia and Pennsylvania, if this comes down to 537 votes, I am leaving. It happens like once every 20 fucking years. I'm out of here. Like,
I'm done.
I'm gonna look. Me and Nate Silver will look like each other. He's almost there. We'll look like me and Swede and Nate Silver sitting next to one another because that's how much hair we'd have between the three of us.
Oh, billiard balls.
Also, Nate Silver, just do it, man. Billiard balls. Just
do it.
Let it go, man. You're on
Accept
like
it. Accept it.
Yeah, he was on national media the other night with that hair. I'm like, put the cap back on and just let it go, dude. Like, I ain't trying to shame you or anything, but as a fellow,
I have to give it to Nate Silver. I was on another show. Steve McRae was running on election night, and we were on with a couple of guys who seemed to be really smart with mathematics and statistics and stuff. And we were following it really close. The number that we didn't have that we needed, though, was absentee ballots. You know, how many went out, how many came back in, that kind of stuff. And so we weren't very good at ultimately predicting because we all called Trump and then went to bed. And we woke up in the morning, and the numbers were exactly where Nate Silver said they were going to be.
Yeah.
And that night we were all saying, "Oh, Nate's lost it this time," and son of a gun.
22,
Well,
88,
honestly,
84.
this election kind of might be a make or break for some states because, like, I don't understand the debate around absentee ballots, given that I literally have never seen an in-person polling place. My entire adult life, I have voted absentee ballot because that's just how it works up here.
Well, Allie,
I
the
did
thing
it
is,
for the first time this year. I'm never doing it the other way again.
the thing is, Allie, is that the absentee ballot thing, is only a problem because King Daddy Trump said so.
King Daddy Trump votes by mail himself.
Yes, he did.
Oh, look! Don't point out our hypocrisy. Just listen to what we say.
Well, normally the Republicans loved it because it was vastly military vote.
Yep. Which is hilarious because you ask them now, and they're like, "Stop the vote." Oh, you don't want the military? Stop the.
Look! No, they can continue voting. Just everyone else stop.
Yep.
If this voting had actually stopped the first time today when Trump said it should stop, he would have lost.
Yep.
Guy's such a dumb idiot. God almighty.
Well, the thing is,
so
he was
stupid.
picking and choosing where he wanted these voting places to stop, and all the places that he wanted to stop were the places where he was in the lead.
Oh, it's still.
Yeah, it's still the same number.
So he's like, "Stop right here," and then, but over there they need to stop. They don't need to stop. They can continue voting.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the percentage of getting the trophies is at this point? Like the percentage chance.
Trophy states.
Oh, sorry. I was like,
I was blanking too. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Do we get a trophy?
Well, earlier you referred to PA and Georgia as being trophy states. So I was
that was mine.
The trophies are.
Yeah.
Georgia's pretty high.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think he's going to take Georgia.
I don't think he'll take Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
I think he could. The numbers are there that he could.
It's so close. I'm just going to err on the side of
Yeah.
I just don't think they're there.
Man. By the way, Maya, let me answer this. They have, prior to this election, asterisk, if he wins, voted, Ohio has, for the president, basically who won the presidency, Ohio has voted for that person the past 14 general elections. You take 4 times 4, that's 6, and you put a 1. That's like longer than a lot of people have been alive. It's in the
56 years.
50s or something. So it's been a while ago. So there you go. And except for this time, hopefully, right? Okay. Yes, I think that to answer your question, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, and I think depending on, because we're talking about 2 counties in North Carolina, you're separated by 1.5 points. 2 counties that are heavily Democratic, up to the point of almost Philadelphia Democratic. And you have mail-in ballots, which we know favor Democrats sometimes by 8-1. Maybe North Carolina. That's the only one that I'm going back and forth on.
There's 80,000.
Honestly, I still think that Trump's going to get that one.
I know, I'm back and forth on it. In Pennsylvania, he needs like
23,000,
which is he needs about 56% of what's left. Right? That's what he needs in order to pass him. He's trending at like 7-1.
Yeah,
So,
he was trending at 70 to 73 percent of the absentees are going for his way.
And basically all of the absentee ballots that come out of those Republican counties are already counted through. And what's interesting to mention there is that Trump actually, even if he won the county, and then if he had more absentee ballots that came in from the county, it was not very often more than 10 or 15% more. And so that's really good news for Joe Biden, especially as we get into some of those final places. You see the blue kind of starting to creep out of Philadelphia, and going in the surrounding counties. So that's really good news for Joe Biden. And I think, Swede, that Joe Biden might win by a lot in Pennsylvania.
Good.
So that's my analysis. What do you think?
Yeah, for
I'm
all the
just
people
glad-
that are refusing to call Nevada, like Nevada, he seems to be stretching his lead there, at least the last time I checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now Joe is at 49.4 while Trump's at 48.5.
There's 12,000 votes right now in Nevada.
Yeah,
So,
right now Joe has 604,251 while Trump has 592,813.
Yes, let's
so it's a nice decent stretch there.
Yeah.
Maya, the answer is that because all that they have left to count is the absentee or mail-in ballots, and it just takes a long time because they like triple verify them and stuff, and it just takes time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are in, and this also applies to Georgia, if you are in Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, you can go online, just like you can in Texas, and make sure that your ballot has been counted. Because you have until tomorrow at noon, I think.
Tomorrow at
noon.
5.
Say again.
I think it was tomorrow at 5.
Whichever one it is, you to validate. It's called curing your ballot.
Yeah.
Getting it that way you can show them like your ID and everything. At this point, it's considered a provisional ballot, and to go in and show them what it is, wherever you. I think it'll tell you if you go to like your Secretary of State in the elections office for your county or borough, whatever they call them in Pennsylvania.
A bunch of people who keep seeing videos of the curing of the ballot, who are just ignorant on that stuff. They're over here like, look at all this tampering. It's like, it's not tampering, my guy. That's not what's happening at all. Like this, like really, just really. No, dude, that's not what that is.
They want conspiracy theories.
They always do, though. Like, they always do. They want something that is out of their control to be a reason why something is happening. Like, they want it to be some, like,
we're all that
completely
way,
and
though.
totally bonkers explanation.
I will give Trump credit for one thing. His absolute horrendousness definitely galvanized the country. It kind of showed us, A, just how severely divided we were, but B, like, it was what, 2/3 of the nation that was registered and eligible to vote that showed up for this one? That's pretty insane.
Have to look and see.
Yeah,
I know the numbers in a lot of states are up quite a bit.
The numbers in Texas were incredibly high.
I think Dan Carlin put it best when it comes to conspiracy theory is we don't like it when things are random. We would almost rather have a nefarious force pulling the levers than chance happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nobody wants the one guy with a rifle, with a bolt-action rifle, able to change the course of history. Nobody wants that. It had to be a Russian plot.
Right.
In 1963.
Y'all want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
I was chatting with this female on Plenty of Fish, and we were getting along really well, really well. We had a lot in common and all this stuff, and then I sat there and said that I've been watching the polling and stuff, and she's like, "I know I'm getting a ulcer from it, you know," and I was like, if you don't mind me, if you feel comfortable talking about it, who are you voting for? She said, Donald J. Trump. And I was like, and no. I said, oh, okay. She's like, who are you voting for? I was like, Biden. And she's like, I can already tell that we're not going to have the same opinion on this, and we're not going to have the same outlook on life and the same morals. I was like, that I can agree with you on.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
I do not understand how any woman could support Donald Trump.
And what makes it funnier?
He's not just a sexist, misogynist kind of guy. He's just a pig.
What makes it funnier?
Would you like? Oh, Susan, would you kiss that face?
Oh God, no.
Oh no,
God, no. God, no.
What makes it funnier was she was mixed race, and I'm like, oof. He does not like your kind. He does not like people that look like you. You understand this, right?
Yeah. I don't understand people in general, and especially like it's like you're saying, Jenny, like the women who vote for him. It's like everything's just why people in general like don't vote against like anybody's best interests unless it's the fucking rich ass people, because
Yeah.
the rich will always have best interests no matter what. The rich are always going to have opportunities.
Yeah.
So it's not like we should really give a shit about that.
Well, she might be on the more wealthier
daughters
side.
Trump carding their parents was awesome.
And she might be on the little bit of the wealthier side. She was living in Katy.
Yeah. Katie Mills,
probably.
man.
I mean, as much as people say they can't understand why women would vote for Trump, here's the problem. And I think that this is something that, coming from half of my family is ridiculously fucking conservative. For the women that vote for Trump, a lot of them voted for him, because law and order candidate, quote unquote. And there's this gigantic fear, especially because of the true crime industry. There's this gigantic fear, especially among suburban women, of the dude is going to break into your fucking house. And Trump was like, I support the cops. I want the cops to do horrible, horrible things, and da-da-da. And especially if you're a highly conservative, like, evangelical mom, and you're out in the frickin' burbs watching true crime all the goddamn time, that's going to be extremely appealing. Mm-hmm. But two, we also have to remember that these people do not watch the same news that we do. Right. They don't read the same news that we do. They come from an entirely different world informationally. You can try to say they're idiots, but they say the same things about us because of just how radically different our stuff is. Now, granted, science does tend to be on the side of, liberals and progressives, just in general. That's just kind of, we have a tendency to align with it more often. But when it comes down to things, if you're in an isolated information bubble and are not necessarily somebody who just intellectually explores on your own constantly, you might not even know that. You know what I mean? I get a little bit tired of people calling people idiots all the time, because I don't think it's a matter of stupidity. I think it's a matter of bubbles and information bubbles and worldview differences.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I
know Nathaniel has said stuff that's very, very similar. And that there's plenty of intelligent religious people. They just a good portion of them just happen to have not only different beliefs, but there's a lot of them that have harmful beliefs.
Yep. They're able to compartmentalize the cognitive dissonance.
Yup.
I was able to
as
do
long
that
as I keep them separate, I can be cognitively dissonant and live that way because I keep things so separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want y'all's opinion on something. Yeah, opinion on something. You think it'd be too much of a dick move if Biden wins if I just sit there and text her, "Hey, your guy lost"?
Yes.
No. And I guess
you would end up on "Am I the asshole?" And
yeah, you don't. Yeah. Dude, don't. Also, you sound thirsty as fuck, bro.
No, well.
I will have to say I'm very, very grateful on that front that my religion is not one of those that requires unquestioning obedience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
I wanna show you.
So are we talking about Texas now?
Yeah, I want to.
Texas!
Part of it.
What did my state do now?
Well,
very excited about Texas.
Well,
you and Swede get excited about Nebraska.
No, I get more excited about Texas.
I'm allowed to get excited about Texas.
I'm always excited about Texas.
At least some of our electors are voting for the right guy.
That's true. That's a good point.
One of them.
I was raised in Wisconsin and I'm living in Minnesota. Both blue.
So I don't know what y'all think about this so lucky thing.
Well,
right
it's
here.
a great sweater. It's a great sweater.
Isn't that? Oh, that's lovely.
It is. I am a fan of this. I don't think it shows just how bright it is on the.
I want it.
In other unimportant news, this is the state of Texas, as you can tell.
Yes.
They are.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
They are.
I can squint and see.
Not fans of the Dallas Cowboys, quite obviously.
No,
they are though in Dallas, and Tarrant. Speaking of
Tarrant,
we are rather yeah. And when we the other day, we saw what was going on in Texas, and I am still upset with Texas because not a single one of these statewide races, not a single one went to Democrats. But today, Susan, because 2 years ago, I worked for Beto O'Rourke, and we came within 2 points of Ted fucking Cruz.
Yeah.
Years after Ted Cruz won by more than 30 or 40, either way, at that point, does it really fucking matter? 2 years after Hillary Clinton lost by 800,000 votes, almost 9 points. And we flipped Tarrant County blue for the first time since 1992 in a midterm election. And Susan sent me a message today.
I did. I sent him a message today because as we look at Tarrant County, so you see the dark blue is Dallas County, which is fairly consistently Democrat. And then you see that light blue county directly next to it, which is Tarrant County. Mm-hmm. Currently in Tarrant County, Joe Biden is winning.
And he has been.
Currently, it is at 403,698 Biden to 403,271 Trump.
Now,
man,
I was the one who got to tell him about this.
I was very excited.
He was very shocked too. I just scared the cat
because I didn't know if we would do it again. The reason for this is because Tarrant County, Texas, is where Fort Worth is.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Worth was the last, and I can say this now, was the last Republican metropolitan stronghold in the fucking country.
Yep.
And we took it 2 elections in a row. And it's
almost done reporting.
And we counted. We counted there. It's only 400 votes. And we counted in Texas. And we flipped that county again.
It's very light blue.
Way to go.
But it's fucking blue.
Oh, it's only light blue right now because...
Not all the way.
Because it has not completed.
Yeah, it's 99.32% of precincts reporting. Can you drill down into it?
It doesn't.
No. Okay. Go to the Tarrant County Google Tarrant County election results.
Sure, I'll do that while you're. I did earlier, but go ahead. Keep
as somebody who my home county of Nueces County is a heavily Hispanic area because it's in South Texas.
What did you want to know about Tarrant County real quick?
Oh, well, he's looking at the Tarrant County elections. We wanted to look at the precinct map of who's reported and who hasn't.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it's the Tarrant County election, actual website.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Not archives.
You might be able to look at archives.
No.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying not archives.
Well, you want to search for it? You want to talk to them?
Well,
let me know.
What did you search for? Okay. That top one.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know what you searched for.
Get your shit together, Nathaniel.
He has his shit together. I don't have my shit together.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So my home county went red because it is weirdly conservative. I think it's because it's a heavily Catholic population.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very much single issue voters. I lived in Austin for a little while in both Travis County and Williamson County, which Williamson County went blue as well.
Did it?
Didn't it?
Oh no, it did. Yeah. It did.
I was just like, didn't it?
Sure did.
Am I lying? And then when I lived in DFW.
This shows.
That's not it.
Yeah, this shows nothing. T-Mobile.
Oh, graphical ENR.
Good.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know I'm going to have to head out in about 15 minutes to go get the hubby.
Okay. I only lived in Tarrant County when I lived in North Texas. I didn't actually ever live in Dallas County, so I only ever voted in Tarrant County when I lived in North Texas. I was a member of the Tarrant County Democratic Women's Club, who they support women candidates. They support, the Democrats. They're just big into, vote blue all the way down ballot. They are very...
It's Texas Democrat, sure.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if it's a women's club or not.
Yeah. I don't think you have women.
I don't.
They put in a lot of work. The women's club does.
Mm-hmm.
They worked really, really hard. Granted, the state races did not have the outcome that we wanted them to, and that's fine. But the Tarrant County Democratic Party also, they worked so hard for this. And you know what? They fucking deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking deserve this bit of win.
They do.
They really do.
Yeah.
So we have the precinct map for Tarrant County.
Yep. Show you. I saw this earlier today when you shared it, and
yeah,
I like this a lot.
Took a screenshot.
Yep.
So the blue stuff that you see is around Fort Worth.
Yep.
Or most of the blue stuff that you see. The blue stuff that you see is around Fort Worth that he's got the mouse over right now. And then if you look eastward, that's Arlington and Grand Prairie. Arlington is one of the fastest growing cities in Texas.
That's where Hank Hill lives.
The United States. He lives in
Arlen, not Arlington.
Yeah.
Well,
which is basically like Tyler in East Texas.
Yeah, like East Central.
Yeah, he's over east of Dallas.
I love that show so much.
Yeah.
I need to watch it.
But you can see in here as well, these little guys right here, these little gray and white areas. These are the areas, these are the precincts that have not yet reported.
Mm-hmm.
They are not incredibly populated, and very few of them are in solid red places.
And there is one, as you can see, that is a little bit tannish, brownish. That one's currently tied.
Look at that. Completely reported.
And it's a tie.
It's a tie. There you go.
What's the one non-reporting down in the middle of the blue?
Oh, that's these ones simply haven't reported yet, or they
13. I don't know exactly which. Because I don't know how much you can scroll in to see the fuckery that is the precincts.
Oh, I don't know, and that might not be like all these guys right here. I had to deal with these whenever I was on the Beto campaign.
Yeah.
Actually, Arlington was mine.
Yeah,
and I had to deal with all of these. Which doors to knock on. Thank you so much, Titan. Which doors to knock on, where to go, what the early voting looks like, where to go from there. We did all of that 2 years ago, and it looks like it's still paying off.
Yeah, 49.17 to 49.22.
I have a friend who lives in Texas, and he was very involved with the Beto campaign. He's more towards Corpus Christi and stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
He thinks that Beto's going to be the next governor. Or
you'll never know.
Potential. What do you think?
I said. Yeah, I called that a long time ago.
Yeah, he said the same thing.
All right, Lisa, still recovering. I tell you what, sleep well, and hopefully when you wake up, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, we'll have some good news. Hopefully,
big chance.
Yeah.
But yes, Texas got a lot of words with Texas. I think
I have so many words for Texas. Like, what the fuck, Texas?
I think maybe the myth that Texas is simply a non-voting state might not be a myth.
Yeah.
And I'm still drilling down, and I will get into that. It's actually something I'm considering with a bunch of notes. And so that is a upcoming conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. It was like, maybe it's a myth and turn back on, and maybe it's, I look at it today again, and I look at something like, I sent you this today, right? Where Denton County, which is where North Texas is, moved left 12 points. So did Collin County, 12 points.
Yeah.
Now they still went red, but to move Denton County over Republican +5, all the way over from Republican +17.
That's amazing.
That, yes. So maybe the myth is still there.
Yeah.
And I'll have to see. All I know is that, as was mentioned earlier, Leah Kai certainly mentioned it, is that if we look at Florida, I have said more times than I can remember that Florida Democrats stop it. It's not actually that important of a state. But Republican or Democrats, if you want to, and let me know if you guys have thought about this and everything as well. Florida Democrats, if you want to go down to Florida and make a difference, Republicans, this is a question. Why are Latinx folks voting for Donald Trump if he's so against everything? I have the answer for you. It's because Republicans have done the work. A lot of these Cubans.
No, I was just going to say, that's the thing with Republicans still got boots on the ground.
Yeah.
They did not actually change to virtual canvassing like Democrats did. And that, I think, come on, stupid.
Yeah.
And that's because, I mean, obviously Republicans have typically have far more of a disregard for COVID-19 precautions.
Sure.
And Democrats tend to take it more seriously.
Yeah.
So they realized that we had to adapt, but that still wasn't as effective.
Yeah. And beyond that even, which is super effective, is this. A lot of the Latinx folks that are down in South Florida came here from Cuba.
Yeah.
Or from Venezuela. Fled here from Cuba or Venezuela, and have been told for decades, and certainly more so recently, that people like Joe Biden are socialists. And they've been fed that by Republicans.
Or that their regimes in their country are actually
Well,
socialist.
additionally
that's
to
why.
that, they're well known to be a very law and order oriented group, especially the ones who came from the early days of Fidel first taking over.
Yep.
And they just love the Republican law and order spiel that, of course, doesn't really exist.
Yep. Right. But they've been fed this over and over and over again, and over and over again. And guess what Democrats are doing? Taking them for granted. You don't necessarily, Democrats, take Latinx voters in South Florida for granted as much as you do the black vote. Let's talk about that when we get a chance. But look at the percentage of those folks in South Florida that you would think on its face that would automatically go, yeah, there's no way somebody that's black or brown would vote for Donald Trump, and yet look at the numbers. And Democrats, if you want to win Florida, if you ever want to win a state again, go in there and break the wall. Like, they have this whole defensive thing up. And that's why whenever Joe Biden or Kamala Harris says something along the lines of Medicare or healthcare, they're automatically told by Republicans, socialism, right? Go down there and tell them what it means. Or they're told
to compare what they're talking about with the blockaded socialist medicine that they have in Cuba that is completely undersupplied because we have an embargo that says any ship that docks there cannot dock on an Allied or American port for 3 months. So if you have a hospital system that depends upon imports and no one will deliver to you, of course your hospitals are going to look like shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, like, as far as socialism being a dirty freaking word, I don't understand why the hell Republicans hate socialism so much, considering they're all supposedly big supporters of the military.
Well, it's
don't
even
know
worse
what
than that. The Republicans love socialism when it comes to spreading out liability and risk in business,
I was going to say
but
COVID.
they hate
yeah.
it when it comes to profit because that they want to keep themselves. But they love having the people through tax breaks and stuff
Yeah.
cover
Take
their
on the burden.
expenses.
And they
Yeah.
are very, very good, by the way, because they'll go and they'll talk to those who immigrated here, fled here from Cuba, and they'll talk about communism.
Mhm.
And they'll go to the folks that came here from Venezuela and they'll talk about socialism. And they are good at it. What are Democrats good? I say we. I'm a little pissed at Democrats right now. What are Democrats good at? Anybody?
Being centrist.
Yeah. It's like
Check.
that's about the extent of it right now. I think there's so many like Democrats and
They've been
people
sitting on
who
the
have
fence so
voted.
much that their crotch is in their chest.
They what
Democrats
now?
are very good at actually running a government
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
to fulfill the expectations and the job skills necessary and
Sure.
that sort of thing.
Oh,
Just not great at getting elected.
Agree. Yes, 100%. But these folks, they're watching Fox News.
This programming is brought to you by Nabisco.
and well, if because and by the way, Lone Wolf Wandler, absolutely, not denying any of that. Certainly, there are levels and levels of it that are amazing, and certainly there are aspects that if you're looking at extreme things, absolutely that become more negative. But this doesn't actually have to happen with Republicans in South Florida. All they have to do is just ring the bell of socialism. Just come out with the S word.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But
Douglas-
here's a counter for you. Socialism is close to communism, and communism, the big bad guy.
Stop, please.
Hey, this is. Tell me this is different than the fucking rhetoric.
Oh, I saw a great meme the other
Oh, I
day.
know it's the exact rhetoric. It just makes my ears hurt.
Oh yeah.
Jenny, go ahead.
I saw a great meme the other day. It said it was directed at Trumpanzees, and it said something like, "You attack a system that you don't understand and call it socialism, and you, oh no, that wasn't it. You attack system. You call socialism a system, and you attack it, and say what it really is communism." Neither of which you understand. It's which is true.
Trump
Nobody
supporters
understands the word
are
socialism.
happy to embrace fascism as because they're afraid of socialism, but they're too stupid to know the definition of either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, this is all sounding very commie talk here, guys, and this is an anti-commie talk area.
No, we're talking
No.
about socialism, not communism. Marx
No.
never talked about
And the reality that, and this is one of the things that I think we need to do as people on the left is to educate the people on the right to the correct definitions of these things. I mean, these people don't even realize that socialism is a form of organization, is a process, whereas totalitarianism is what's going to destroy your life and your nation.
Jenny, I love where your head is at, but I'm just going to be blatantly honest, especially
Sure.
those who are very, very big Trump supporters. They don't give a shit what the actual definitions are and what they actually do. All they care about is straw manning the other side, so that way they can say your side's bad because of I don't give a shit really why, but here you go. Here's a fake reason why.
Oh, well, I'm talking about the education of the grassroots of the. I know I'm never going to change Trump's mind or anybody else who's above third grade reading level.
Well, I should point this out. Trump supporters aren't too stupid.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. They can learn it, and we know they can. And
I did.
Say again?
I did. I was a right-wing nut job for a while.
There you go. So they're not too stupid. I think that this is a brainwashing to the now, mind you, there is a lot of hate that exists inside of these nationalistic minds of a lot of them. Absolutely. But there are as we talk about the Latinx voters that are down in South Florida, as the immigrants that are down in South Texas, who swung way like 70 fucking points to the right. There's a lot of disillusionment as well, and really there we gotta there are plenty that I would say are probably beyond. But there are a lot of disillusioned people there are plenty of Republicans who voted for John Cornyn in Texas, but also voted against Donald Trump. We saw that because we can look at the numbers in Tarrant County. You can see they still elected fucking John Cornyn. Mm-hmm. So that exists. But I think it's pretty easy to spot out, to pick out of a crowd who is actually going to be able to have a rational, logical, actual, like, besides shouty type conversation. Anybody have thoughts on that?
I just gave everybody the actual true definition of socialism in the chat.
Definition, man, come on.
That's commie talk.
Definitions are for people that care to read them and also care about them.
Ha, I can't read.
Leakai said, I know you said you had to leave in a few minutes. What are your thoughts? Oh, why, sweet? I was hoping that it would.
I have a CT scan in the morning on my aorta.
I have to be up at 8 a.m. for a meeting in which I have to show my face.
Why don't you just grow a new aorta, okay?
Yeah, I wish I could.
Let's get to it.
Look, Swede, just pull your own weight and grow your own stuff, okay?
I learned about socialism from a socialist, an old guy. He's dead now. We became friends and stuff. His name was Frank Zeidler. He was the last of the 4 socialist mayors Milwaukee had in the 40s and 50s. And socialism ran Milwaukee spectacularly.
I heard you call for my opinion, by the way, and then I didn't get an opening. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Whenever Jenny gets done, go ahead.
I'll stop there. That's okay. Go ahead.
I think, I don't know, we're still talking about the socialism divide, correct? My ADHD wandered off with me for about 30 seconds.
I mean, don't have to, because obviously, this is just a conversation regarding what people are lied about, like what they're lied to about, but whatever your thoughts are.
Well, I mean, like, on what people are lied to about, I think that both sides technically do get lied to a certain degree. For example, the Democrats often position themselves as like the climate candidates when quite often they still take oil money and concede to fracking and stuff like that. But on the right, there's significantly more of that, I think.
To a point. I mean, the fact that people even believe that fracking can even be stopped based on what the needs of the economy, medicine, fertilizer, everything else we have, Dems are lying to their constituents that it can even stop without hampering and starving our population. So
basically, we don't have viable alternatives for a lot of things. And, that's something that I do appreciate about the current ticket, is that they're talking about trying to invest into actually researching that stuff. But I think that the grandest lie ever probably is that socialism is in some way going to destroy the country. I think that idea it's basically completely undermined any possible way for the left and the right to come together over things that could possibly help people. Like, people don't even want to acknowledge that the frickin' relief package, for example, was a form of socialism, quote unquote.
What? How dare you, madam? This is a capitalist country.
How was it a form of socialism?
Oh, social democracy, sweet. Get out of my house.
Socialism is definitely, as you put it in your definition, where the workers are the owners of means of production. But there's also the socialism of gathering together as one and distributing our wealth to each other as necessary.
Well,
to
yeah,
each one
redistributing the
according
wealth
to
is
their
considered
needs
to be a
from
socialist
each
concept.
one according to their wants or blah blah blah.
From each according to his ability to each according to his need.
That's
Yeah, that's it.
Marxism. Marxism has nothing to do with socialism.
No,
Hey,
but
cool
it's a
story.
tenet that's usually carried into socialism. None of these definitions are hard and fast. They're all fluid. True socialism does not have a totalitarian or authoritarian
Oh my god.
bent to it either. But it always shows up together.
Who wants to talk about Georgia?
Georgia.
Knew that.
Georgia on my mind.
Something happened.
Good job, both of you and Russ.
Thank you.
It
Great
should
minds
be
think
on your
alike.
fucking mind. And you know what? You should definitely want to go there and get a lot of peaches.
Peaches.
Millions of peaches.
Going to
Thank
the
you.
beaches,
Thank
gonna
you.
eat a
Those
lot
are
of
drugs.
peaches.
And you can come get those in Oregon.
Whoa, sir! Those
Are there new numbers on
peaches.
Georgia?
Yes.
There are new numbers in Georgia.
She's smiling.
What we're looking at?
Clayton County has released some of theirs, not all of them. The lead for Donald Trump is now 1,479.
That's been that way for a while.
Ooh, it was 1,300 last
Decision
time.
Desk updated it, and so you're looking at below. If we're talking about, because what we saw earlier was there were about 16,000, which means now there's about 16,000. There's about 14,000 left. This means that if we saw this number and it moved over, because we were at 1797 and now we're at 1479. This number has moved considerably for Joe Biden. This is what we expected to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're talking, he doesn't need 56% anymore. He needs around 40% now, likely. And that
If he
is
takes Georgia, he doesn't need Arizona, does he?
16.
He'll need one of
One
Nevada
more.
or Arizona because Georgia would only take him to 269.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
But-
Nebraska.
Yeah, that's correct. And apparently
He's-
Maine gave a couple too, but still, yeah, Nebraska's second district. Congratulations, you're going to make this is the biggest thing that I'm going to get to here in a second regarding those two states.
Yeah.
But
Oh, Allie, guess what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just
It's the close.
Ugh, that close. But Allie, I'm a very, very big supporter of everything Texas, but I told Swede that if Biden did win, and it was thanks to Nebraska, that I would, if he sent me a Nebraska shirt, I would definitely wear it for every stream. For how many streams was that? You know what? Fuck it.
Until
Every
Biden
stream.
is no longer president.
Every stream. Oh, until Biden's no longer president. Oh,
You're
well,
gonna need
you know what?
multiple
I will.
Nebraska shirts.
I got a couple of those, did you?
You're either gonna not need to not stream very much, or like get very proficient at hand washing clothing.
Yeah, because we're gonna run out of electricity.
All I know is that I will definitely wear it to every stream that I'm on, just because.
There you go. Randolph, this is a good question. It feels like U.S. elections have stalled. Is this because of the lawsuits initiated by Donald Trump against a number of different states? No.
All right, guys, I need to head out. I have to go pick Hubby up. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yep, Allie, have a wonderful
You're
night.
welcome,
Thank
Allie.
you so
Nice
much.
to meet you.
Tell the
Bye-bye.
hubby we
I'm
say
sorry
hi.
for ADHDing out and losing the conversation for a half a second.
No, it's fine. No, appreciate.
I've done that 3 times.
Yeah,
So.
I always appreciate what you bring to the conversation, especially the socialist part of that. That means a ton. You should do a video about that.
You know, honestly, I've been I'm actually in the process of kind of transitioning my content a little more toward the political side again, because I've done the turf stuff. And I also did the propaganda videos, like the how to identify propaganda and debunk it and such, or at least very clearly see what it is and what it's doing, so you can kind of not be manipulated by it. I might actually do a video on the various definitions of socialism and why it's so difficult to have a conversation between the left and the right, because that's something that's really important.
Can we?
I tried to start it with my channel.
I think that's a great idea, and I think that if you do that and you premiere it, that I have to watch it sitting next to this guy over here. Sorry, I can't do that guy right, the bald one right there. That I have to do that. That way I can see his reactions during your video.
It would be very cool to see that stretch out into a series, and maybe having even a call-in portion.
Well, I'd probably actually theme it around the difference, like struggling with different definitions, having different definitions of the same word, so that you're having completely different conversations and don't realize it. Because honestly, I think that that's one of the big divides when you have conversations with the right, especially, is words mean different things depending on where you're getting your news from. And I think that that would be a good way to frame that conversation.
Like private property versus personal property versus productive property versus natural resource property versus...
Yeah, like, or even, you know, something like, say, like the word religion or the word art. Like, there are a number of different words that when, you know, like, even outside of political conversations, they're called, it's a concept in semiotics called lexemes. Basically, they have multiple definitions that are all kind of under this umbrella, and two people might be using two completely different definitions when they have a conversation. And I think socialism is one of those words. And I think that it doesn't need to be. I think it does have a technical definition, and the one you gave is right. However, it's come to connotatively mean a bunch of different things. And I think having that conversation is worthwhile.
Well, all I know is I'm going to take the Fox News definition. You can't stop me.
And anybody who's over 55 or so is well indoctrinated to the negative concept of socialism and communism because of the politics of the time. You know, it's the 50s is when we put "In God We Trust" on everything. It didn't exist before that. It was, you know, the time of the Red Scare and Joe McCarthy, whose grave I have pissed on.
Nice.
I love you.
Right? There's so much great about what you just said.
So much. I love you.
Matt Pick, thank you, Matt Pick, for stopping in. You know, I agree with you about if Trump wins, Amanda moves to Ireland. So you're very conflicted about this. Like, you want Biden to win, but also, man.
You know, I know all these people in your chat, by the way. I've only seen one name of somebody I didn't know.
That's because they are amazing people.
I can't believe Doorknob Head comes here. Does he behave?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you know, it's a mixed bag, and I'm okay with it because we don't always either.
It's true.
Randolph, let's answer your question here. Maya makes a wonderful point with it. She said because some states are the fastest counters, which makes sense. Mine are made of granite, and some other people's might be made of wood, so move a little quicker.
I will say
You're
that
not a dad. Stop telling dad jokes.
I will say that there was somebody who apparently lives in Nevada who sat there and said, people keep telling us to hurry up. It's like, chill out. We don't even know how to count. Give us a minute. It takes us a while.
Now here's the thing.
21.
Yeah, I was gonna say, here's the thing. In Nevada, you take money real quick, and you know how to count that shit. I don't want to hear this nonsense about you can't count up to whatever the fuck this 800,000 or something.
Yeah, get the casino workers to count.
You should be like super excited because your casinos make money, and
like Donald Trump's.
Yes, exactly. So Randolph, there are a couple of different answers to this. One, there are a vast number of mail-in votes that are in Pennsylvania. And also because of a lawsuit, yes, that was granted by Donald Trump, saying that there are a number of them that can't be counted until tomorrow. And so that's one reason in Pennsylvania. Other reasons have to do with the amount of people that early voted in somewhere like Atlanta or surrounding areas in Georgia. And so you have this vast number of people who voted and then voted early or had their mail-in ballots. In Georgia.
Already states that have been counted are still who have been, declared, oh, this is a Biden state or a Trump state. Even some of them have places that are still counting ballots.
Yeah, Nebraska just got done counting today in District 2. So the other problem is anytime there's a ballot that has any sort of dispute on it, both parties have to have a representative come over and go, yes, the voter's intention was this.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some states are allowed to, or for by their own rules, begin counting the mail-ins and stuff the day they show up at the backup at the office. Others wait till the day of the election.
Yep.
Nebraska
and that was
the day before.
In Pennsylvania this year, because of the Trump campaign, had to wait until day of to count their mail-in and early voting. I think they all had mail-in this year.
Whatever direction DC is. Fuck you.
Yep. That way. And that was by design. And so with the amount of turnout they had, and so you have people that are voting at the same time they're trying to open ballots and count them. And so that causes this backlog. And then if you look at somewhere like Georgia, they also have overseas and overseas and military ballots. So you have international stuff with folks who are overseas somehow. And then you have military ballots as well that they're counting. Now, those are going to be, in most states, likely inconsequential. Somewhere like Texas or Nebraska, right? Or Oregon, where it's not really going to matter. It may matter in like races that are close, that are like in city or county races, but statewide or like federally, it's not going to matter. Somewhere like Georgia, it's looking, like it might matter a lot. And so that's going to stall things out a little bit. But as they mentioned, you like somewhere in like in Oregon, as soon as the polls closed, we don't have polls in Oregon because we're 100% mail-in. As soon as the polls closed, it was blue automatically. Why is that? Because with as many Democratic votes as we have, like I think Multnomah, which is basically downtown Portland, it's like 85%. Joe Biden, the rest of the state can't, that are red, can't catch up to that, and so they say this is a blue state. They're not done counting even yet. So
Hawaii,
Alaska. Let's be honest. They're. I don't even know if they can get to Nome. So
District 3.
Yeah.
As red as good as red can be.
Yeah. I saw some of those votes too. That's some. You can tell where people actually voted, because even though the population of Western Nebraska or that part of Colorado or South Dakota is far less than it is on the east side, you still look at this and you're like, you guys could have at least fucking tried. The voter turnout over on that side
because of the amount of Hispanic population in Western Nebraska.
Yep, it is odd to me. I hope that we were able to officially answer for you there. One down vote. Yeah, we've got people.
It's been happening lately.
Yeah, we got one the other night too. So we've got people.
People don't like Trump? I must downvote them now.
Well, we also just have people.
Oh.
Yeah.
I yelled at a tanky and he went on and downvoted my videos.
No.
Yeah. People are impatient. It's the same thing with the Mueller investigation. Take your time and get it right. Yeah. And that's what it is. And Randolph, this is correct. What obviously Maya basically says correct things. We have people that count the ballots, Democrat, Republican, and we even have folks that are that like certify these things that aren't even from the United States. You get folks here from New Zealand, Russia, seriously, and other countries that help to certify our state elections and our federal elections and stuff. So there are, it's better to just kind of and put the little brakes on it, especially Nevada. First off, really? Nevada, you have like a third of the population of the other places we're talking about. You're not important. Stop acting like it.
They're important for now.
You're not important. Although, please give us your votes because you're really important for now. We'll give you attention for now. It's the attention they crave.
It's like any two.
Like me.
I need to leave. I have another show I'm supposed to be on. And I'm actually 20 minutes late now. But nonetheless, I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I really, it's good. It's a good talk show.
Oh, thank you. We are, even if this does not go anywhere tonight, which, Jesus Christ.
We're thinking it might not.
I'm off at 2:00 tomorrow.
I mean, I have a normal schedule tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, but I'm off at 2:00. That means I can actually like make stuff and like actually create stuff for the show tomorrow.
Okay.
Which I'm. God, can we please decide the election tomorrow? That'd be just great. I can't take this anymore.
I don't know. I did like Maya's whole. I mean, we might not want to call it until Monday, so they don't have the weekend to riot.
So just call it in Pennsylvania. Let Atlanta. I get it. Let Georgia do their thing. You know, let them come out on the other side. They're peachy anyways. And cool.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Well,
thank you,
I got
Jenny.
some extra free time tomorrow because I saved a little time and did my nails here.
Well, Jenny.
So I don't have to do them tomorrow.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure. And once if we do something tomorrow, then we'll definitely get in touch with you.
All right, that would be
All
great.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I
Have a
really
good night,
take care. Take care of that ticker.
Have a
Yeah,
good one.
will do.
Okay. Bye bye.
Always go the wrong direction with that. It's mirrored and whatnot. So
you just have to point towards me in order to point at Swede.
So I'm pointing at Swede.
I mean, technically, yes.
Yeah. But this will getting off a little bit earlier tomorrow. It's not to head by the doctor, but it give me an opportunity to make some graphics for tomorrow because I really want to win. Like I just want to not a win, but I just want it to be over with. Who doesn't want this to be over with yet? I've got like half of the Trump cultists that agree with me. They want it to be over with. The other ones wanted to keep counting. Are there any people out here that agree with the other cultists that that extend it?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know how much you remember about 2000, but that was a long fucking month. I was 20 years old when that happened, and that was
in 2000.
Yeah.
Oh, I was 10 in 2000.
I was in high school, and yeah.
I was 13.
They were the Brooks Brothers riots, led by.
Which is terrible because I love Brooks Brothers for my formal wear.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one that ever caught on to that.
I caught on to that.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
It's sad that they're bankrupt.
Yeah. This year I am calling them the Conspiracy Clan.
With 2 Ks, of course.
Oh yeah. And I am. I think the longer that this goes on, as we mentioned, the more difficult it becomes.
Yeah.
It's for us, obviously, if we are supporters of basically like democracy, there's something in it for us as far as we would just like for it to. Hey, thank you, Randolph. We would just like for it to have some sort of conclusion.
Yeah.
And the conclusion, obviously, that we're seeing, at least trending toward, is that not only will Joe Biden win, but Donald Trump will have lost every state that he took from Hillary Clinton.
Look at the cat.
And also gained none.
You see the cat on the screen?
Oh,
look at her on the screen.
Yeah, you can. And that's a big deal, right? That's what it is, looking like it's trending toward, that he's going to lose every single state that he took from Hillary Clinton and gain 0, while also losing 2, Georgia and Arizona. That is everything that we've said, 69,654,314 people and counting voted for this monster. 73,729,788, the most to ever vote for a candidate, have voted for Joe Biden.
And the highest participation rate that we've seen in God knows how long.
We saw in Tarrant County participation rate of 69.7%.
Nice.
I just looked at that's how I looked at it on the page there. This is what this shows, is that the vote total matters. The whole thing matters because this is 4 million. And it is a repudiation. But more than that, where a person lives and votes matters.
Mhm.
The folks that are in Atlanta and other, especially metropolitan, but also some rural areas in Georgia, we don't discount you. And Philly and Pittsburgh, but also in Scranton, Happy Valley, and then in Detroit, as the young man last night said, how Detroit goes, so Michigan goes. These are the people that Democrats take advantage of. Not advantage, take for granted. You could also say take advantage of sometimes. This is the black vote. Right? Black women vote overwhelmingly. They have saved our nation. Don't say they have not, and do not deny what is obvious.
Yeah.
Stacey Abrams. I flipped this over today because I have been saying Beto O'Rourke has been the most important catalyst for the Democratic Party. Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, for sure.
How does somebody go into or live in Georgia? Right? Deep red Georgia. Turn out the black vote like she has.
Yeah, fucking seriously.
Black woman.
She's amazing.
Yes. Talk about governor.
Her name is Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about governor. Let's talk about some other stuff, Stacey.
She gets one big thumbs up from me.
Yeah, she's amazing, and I love her.
Some countries more than but
we little special children, so it takes us a minute to really realize things.
We're a battleship in the East River. It takes a lot for us to turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little slow on updates, but we get there. We'll get there eventually.
The cat looks inappropriate. She looks inappropriate no matter what, I think. But
She's purring.
This is a demographic that simply does not receive the money, the attention, the actual benefit for their vote.
Can anybody hear her purring?
Oh, I can hear her through my headphones.
Yes.
You can. There we go. Sorry, I've been wanting
so
to do
inappropriate. I couldn't correctly type it. I was reading inappropriate like multiple times, and
I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Still kind of asinine and waiting to see if the guy that got 4 million more votes will actually win the election. Yep, and that's what it means when it matters where you're from.
I fucking hate people.
Because if you are in Texas and you vote in Texas, absentee or whatever else it might be, it doesn't matter in this system. 38 go to the person who literally is killing them.
Yeah, imagine if everybody was like Nebraska and gave representation.
And Maine. You keep leaving Maine out of this.
I mean,
Maine gave one. Maine gave 1 of 4.
To one of 4 in Maine went to Trump. Yeah.
So,
so their people were appropriately represented for their will.
Yeah, and they also did ranked choice voting. It didn't really matter in the end of things, right? It's because Susan Collins was about 50%, and also so was Joe Biden, which is again part of that where Republicans voted for Joe Biden and then turned around and voted for their Republican senator.
She's showing you her butthole.
Don't want it. Yes.
You know what it means when a cat shows their butthole to you?
No.
It means that they trust you and that they're comfortable around you.
Yeah.
Know what it means to me? It means there's this cat show me its butthole and I'm not interested.
It's like when a dog stares at you when they're taking a shit. They're trusting that you're going to look out for them because they're very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they stare at me.
Well, that's also why they go in a certain area and they turn in a circle so they can see.
Yes,
when they try to protect the backside, which is
See, what my dog does is he follows me to the bathroom. He looks at me for a second and then he wanders off because he's like okay, and then I guess I don't. I guess I don't
That's
know.
why they also like to observe you while you poop because they're protecting you.
Stanley does that.
So mine only protects me for a little bit, and then he's like, "Okay, you can fuck off now, my guy."
Right.
Or you're safe. I can move on.
No update yet.
Well,
May not get anything tonight.
I don't think we are.
3, 4, 3, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, no, it's the same.
Yeah,
It's an old pack behavior, Randolph. It's an old pack behavior. I read about it in a why humans and dogs work so well together type of book, and that's
mind right.
Yeah, it is.
You're not wrong. It sounds like it's not mind right. And of course, that's the reason that I know the reason why they go to certain places, not just because they're like smelling it, obviously, but so that they can be safest.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But
they
if
do
they're
that.
if they're with their pack leader, who you as who they view you as, then they're going to look for you to look out for them while they do their business, and that's why they really don't look around a lot if they're with their human.
Come to Divine Disbelief, where you get all the pooping trivia you could ever ask for.
Yeah, 10 people just watched us talk about that.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I don't know if I
Proud of
should
y'all.
thank. Yeah, I was
Proud
like,
of
should I
y'all for sticking
thank you
around.
or like chastise you for staying here for that?
Well, one of them left because they said this shit is just ridiculous.
How does he get a laugh for the? Never mind. I didn't even get like a look for the peachy comment.
The peach comment?
Yeah, Georgia is going to be just peachy and nobody.
Oh my god, I didn't catch it. Your pun was that is amazing.
That's probably because I started singing "Presidents of the United States of America." Right when we said that.
Oh, it died. No, that was when.
Did my mouse die?
No, 25 hours. Yeah. No, we're not. But
My mouse died.
it was when I was talking about like who is going to like Pennsylvania just needs to release their votes or the vote tallies because and we can just let Atlanta and Georgia, they'll be peachy for the weekend and got nothing.
You're getting the giggles now because that's pretty good.
I'll take that. Thank you. 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
To demonetize you.
Yeah. Jokes on them.
You.
Yeah.
We're not monetized.
But if you would like to help us get monetized, please feel free to like and subscribe and then go over to patreon.com and sign up. Give us some money. Give us some of your money.
We would
Socialism.
like money.
Is that how it works?
My money's been going towards Cyrus. He needs it.
He does. If you would like to help out, Cyrus has been that guy's just been through it.
Really has.
And he is such a good person.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he does for people as well as animals, like other animals that aren't people. Anyways.
Do you mind if I give his PayPal?
No, I not at all. And we'll see what we can do about
me-
putting one in the description as well.
I can,
or I think Susan might be as well.
Put it in the. Well, no, that's not gonna work. No, yeah. Put it in the. Are you a mod on our channel?
No.
I am.
Put it in the private chat, and then we can put it in
Russ, do you
the
have his
comments
link?
for all of them.
I don't have his link available, but if you put it in the private chat, I can quickly copy paste it over into the live chat.
I used Google Payments to pay.
I've got it.
So
You got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
There we go.
He's been through the ringer. He needs a little. He needs a little love.
Look at that. They have raised 1,000. So far, they've raised $1,340, and you can certainly help with that. I'll put this into
that is
chat.
good.
Yep. And it should be in the
Randolph,
chat there.
you are trying to make me bleed out my ears, aren't you?
Yeah, I read that too, and I just let it go. And it is in the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch chat. So you can go and look at that. You can do what you can to help out. And if you personally or your family doesn't currently have the means to help right now, and certainly understand it not just now because of obvious, but always can't just expect these things. And it is not a fun time that we live in a society where people, when things like this happen, have to rely on charity in order to simply survive. It is what we are right now, and it is who we are right now. And so as much as you can, if possible, if not, please at least as well, share it out there. You probably have more followers than we do and greater reach than us. And, tag the president. Who knows? And, no, I know that he definitely won't give any money, but.
Well, he will, but Eric Trump will intercept it.
It's true. Eric, man.
Stealing money for kids with cancer.
Just tell them that it's for next fund to like go and, I don't know, kill some more animals for sport or something in Africa. But there are a lot of, they've got a lot of donations from folks that we don't necessarily know. And he's a person that really deserves these things. We kind of say that, probably more often than we should, because not everybody deserves all of it. But it isn't about deserving. It is about necessity. And it's real easy to say that he does deserve it, but more than anything, this is our fellow human, right?
Mhm.
We should say and do the same thing for those who are impoverished or require some sort of assistance in any way. And regardless of their age, sex, gender, sexual orientation, political affiliation, it doesn't matter what bank account money is coming from. When somebody receives a donation, it doesn't. Bank accounts are not Democratic or Republican unless they're part of like political. And when it comes down to it, we are not Democrat, Republican, Independent, Socialist. And we should not base who we help upon that. I don't like them, a lot of them. I disagree with most everything that they stand for, say, and do. But I would say the same thing regarding Suris as I would about others that I don't agree with when it comes to help. There are exceptions, obviously, but, so.
Sorry, I was reading 538.
Yeah, Georgia and Pennsylvania. This is from Nathaniel. Sure. At 538. Georgia and
Daniel,
Pennsylvania.
when did you start working there?
If they would hire me, I can't tell you. You may never hear from me again. I mean, because I'd be so busy working at 538 and getting all of my polling correct and also predicting things properly. Georgia and Pennsylvania are really stretching out their moments in the spotlight. They're releasing new batches of ballots at an agonizingly slow pace. Though, in fairness, it is late at night. It is not. It is 10:40. And they are working very hard. The latest numbers.
It's 1:40 there.
Yeah. The future doesn't exist. Seem to be at Decision Desk HQ, which has Trump's Pennsylvania lead down to 18,224 and Georgia 1,267. Important to note here, these are in Georgia. There are not nearly as many ballots left as there are in Pennsylvania, but the rate at which they are, because we're still above 10,000, the rate at which they are splitting to Biden should, whether it is, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 minutes or tomorrow, if you're not here or in Mountain Time, it already is tomorrow. All of them should break to Joe Biden, at least the states. And what's funny is Swede is he's not so high on Pennsylvania. Ooh. I'm the other side of that. So I won a bet.
Oh.
$100, yeah.
Oh.
And obviously because, Joe Biden is going to win. He's the presumptive, in my opinion. And the person...
Oh, was it the gift card guy?
Yeah. And so today I told him if he was... Because I told him he didn't have to. And he said, no, I want to. I'm going to. And I told him to just donate that to the Oregon Food Bank. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah, let's, again, people need it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're at 2 hours. And nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Because America is
broken.
Fractured. Broken. Can you be put back together if you're broken? It's not a good example. That's like a maybe.
My ankle is still. Awful.
There you go. It does
fucking hurt today.
It doesn't mean you won't have arthritis later on.
Like currently.
But there is healing that is necessary to be done in our country. I'm really terrified for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Both here in Portland, where we basically invented protesting. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, Maya, there are. Joe Biden is going to win this election sooner than later. But this is the outcome that we spoke about and didn't want. And this is the one that terrifies me more than anything because of what is, I want to say possibly next, but we already see it. It's already happening.
Yeah.
And there might come a point in this where we actually have to ask how important this is to us.
Yeah.
And I hope that's not the case, but it is bearing out that way.
Yeah.
And we should have beaten this guy into the ground.
Yes, we should have.
We're going to. The Electoral College is going to give it to Joe Biden. He's going to have about 300. Right? But it is
we'll see.
In the event that we survive 4 more years. Here's a sign of hope, and this also matters both in January and in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
We gave the Republicans 2 states that are now battleground states that were not. We forced the Republicans. Now, again, Democrats, y'all got some motherfucking work to do. Just letting you know. Joe Manchin, you're about to get primaried, motherfucker. Right? Kirsten Sinema, you're almost as far right as he is. I forget these other King, whatever your name is. It's M King, I think, or something shit like that. You guys they need to be gone. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
You're not helping the problem. You are part of it. You have no sway and you have no backbone. But we have created, and again, this is because of the amazing black and brown vote, especially the black women that led the vote and get out the vote areas in Georgia. And of course, in Pennsylvania and in Michigan. Well, we just created 2 new battleground states that the Republicans didn't think they had.
Yeah.
And that's millions of dollars they cannot send to Michigan, Wisconsin, or Pennsylvania. And that is something they didn't want, something they didn't need.
Accurate.
It allows progressives, because I don't know what the fuck the Democratic Party even is. We talk about the Republican Party being on its last legs, but Democrats couldn't even convince people to get out and vote for some of the most popular candidates I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Some of the more progressive candidates that I've ever seen. How could somebody do that in 2018 in Texas of all fucking places, but you couldn't do it again? And to do that in 2018 where you go over there. Now, Stacey Abrams, you can see what's happening in Georgia, right? But then you couldn't get out and do that in Missouri? Why? You have Kansas City and you have St. Louis. What the fuck, Democrats? I feel like, you know what? I feel like a certain candidate that I'm a bit of a fan of has said that recently. He said it to the media, right? He said, what the fuck, press, media, whatever he said. That's, Beto after the fucking shooting in El Paso. Yeah. The fuck, Democrats? Get your fucking shit together. Or go away. Which most of you probably need to. And by the way, just because Nancy Pelosi was the one that basically was the Speaker of the House, no. Because you're the Speaker doesn't mean that you've ever done a goddamn thing. You want to know somebody that actually does something when they're the Speaker? When they are the actual leader? Mitch McConnell. He said that we are the party that blocks Obama. Right? And that's all they did. From 2012 on, there was not a single piece of proper legislation actually passed by the Obama administration because of Mitch McConnell. He's good at it. Yeah. He's got a fucking backbone. I hate him.
Newt Gingrich was also really effective.
What's that?
Newt Gingrich was very effective as a speaker too.
Yeah, he's the one that flipped the fucking house.
The concept of America and all that.
Yeah. And
I don't like what he did, but he was effective.
Yeah, it's what I say about Mike Pence. He's the best debater I've ever seen in my life. He's really good at it. Like, amazingly good at it. I go back and watch that sometimes, and I'm like, this is just like the best a person could do at debating.
Like the vice president?
Yeah.
Yeah, his debate technique is flawless.
Yep, it is.
His positions are abhorrent.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I've only have the one debate I've ever seen him do, and to me, it just was.
No, correct. I don't disagree with you.
Like my like the best way to sum it up for anybody who didn't watch it was Kamala, like she had a couple of questions that she didn't answer, but she'd sit there and mainly stay on point. And then whenever it came to Pence, he was like, well, let me go back to this. And it was like,
yeah.
His ability to redirect was amazing.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Don't like his fucking answers. No, of course not. He didn't answer anything.
No.
Oh, it's just fucking gorgeous, though. And I even said that while it was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best I've ever seen anybody debate. No, he didn't. He didn't do anything.
He became the moderator.
Yep.
He did.
And so you have these folks that are antithetical to everything that we say we stand for, right? And I've said this multiple times this evening even. But now we have been gifted because we didn't do anything in these states, Arizona and Georgia. We've been gifted.
And you couldn't even get the Senate with the amount of shit that is out there.
Still have a chance in the Senate because, again, thanks to Georgia. Yeah. And I'm not counting you out, Cal Cunningham.
That amount of money is just going to be incredible.
I know she's tired.
So tired.
I'm so mad.
I know. I'm just very tired.
I slept all day because I've been up. I was up for almost, if not almost 48 hours.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Part
of that's our fault.
It wasn't Jill's fault. I could have definitely told y'all I'm leaving. I'm going to sleep, but I just didn't. I couldn't. I was like,
"That's great." That's funny.
Only thing that could go wrong if this Lord of the Flies had one of his minions land on his head. Oh, there it is.
Don't appreciate. I tell you what, during this time where I am possibly sometimes far too serious, I appreciate the fact that those of you that are in the chat, by the way, thank you for that, and join us on the show. Absolutely provide not just perspective, but also the humor that is necessary. in a time like this. And I hope that just continues to be that way, that's all we need, is me sometimes being far too serious and taking things too seriously, because God damn it, I do sometimes.
And then here comes me with some kind of joke.
Yeah. My heart being asleep this week.
Like, I gotta say, like, regardless of how y'all feel about Saturday Night Live, did y'all see the cold opening about the debate with Mike Pence and Kamala?
Was that Jim Carrey?
It was Jim Carrey, and but when the fly lands on Jim Carrey's head, and they're
Jim
like,
Carrey was playing Biden.
Yeah, he was. Did I say Trump?
Yep.
No, Jim
No.
Carrey. Who was playing? Somebody else was playing Pence.
Yeah, I don't remember who was playing Pence. But Jim Carrey was in that cold opening though as well.
Oh, it was the guy that always plays him in Putin.
But whenever it landed on his head, and they're like, Mrs. Kamala, they're like, Ms. Harris, would you like to say something to him? And she's just like, nah, I'm good. When it came to about the fly, because he kept trying to ask him a question about the fly, and the guy just would not, just was like, kept plowing through, and she was just like, no, I'm good.
I just had to write a text. Somebody...
Clockwork wants to know if he can join. Are we staying on for a while? Or is it one of those where y'all are about to close it out?
We are. I actually just sent a text to somebody, and I said, no celebration tonight. Hopefully tomorrow, is what I said.
Hopefully.
And if the election is called while either Susan or I are at work, we will be on later in the day. FYI. So, because we want to, in this year, in this type of situation where we cannot be together with a lot of the people that we care about, and a lot of people that we've made great relationships with, we want to be able to still share this in some way, and we found a medium where we can do that. And so we hope that tomorrow is the day. Maya, I feel you. Aunt Jur, it's much the same, because we're looking at 1,267 vote difference in Georgia and 18,224 vote difference in Pennsylvania. And it's still a high margin in Arizona, and it's stretching the margin out there in Nevada. And we're looking very closely at a Joe Biden flipping 2 different states in the South and running away with this motherfucking election. I just want it to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or actually right now, if you don't mind.
And Trump, I just got one thing to say, this whole entire, past few days has been incredibly stressful for you. We talked about the last time Nathaniel, Susan, and I were on. I mean, it's getting kind of stressful for you, man. But there's some good news. It's about over, and you'll have plenty of time to relax and whatnot whenever you are in your cozy cell. For all the stuff that they're actually going to charge you with. So, and relaxing is the best strategy when you're in there, because, if you tense up, it's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
And you know what? We'll end it with this here. Right now, anticipating hopefully tomorrow, a Joe Biden victory is a lot better than it was 4 years ago, when 2 days after the election, I had my first video after the election and was the opposite of this. And the first thing that I said was it's going to take 1,400 days. So I forget the 1426, I think.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have this minus the cultists than that. So, pucker up though. It's going to be a hell of a run. So, any last thoughts, love?
I'm sleepy.
All right. She's sleepy. God, I think we all are. So we will, you know what? Likely see you folks tomorrow.
Probably.
Hopefully.
Probably.
I like that. So, Swede, Russ, thank you again very much. You guys are all awesome. Everybody else is too.
Mm-hmm.
Clockwork, Randolph, Doorknob, Aunt Jur, Jenny earlier.
Maya,
always.
Ali.
I cannot thank everybody. Leave me alone. I can be a politician. I can't remember his names. So
the people that were here at one point in time or another.